Hey guys, TCG Rolls here, and today we are back with a deck profile of a deck that is a little not normal. This deck is kind of a deck you'd expect, especially from me, but there's a really fun twist that actually gave it a really good impact, and I came second at my local league tournament today. So, let's get right into this. Everyone told me I should deck profile this. Don't know why. So, starting it off. So, first of all, I should probably say what deck it is. It's Yveltal EX with Slowking. And I am crazy now. Just saying, your boy's gone mad. So let's just get right into it. So we got 3 Yveltal EX. Yveltal's attack, Evil Ball, is just, again, really strong, and it's just the main attack of this deck. And it's really how you win the games. I've won so many games from just powering up a gigantic Yveltal and just kind of winning, because I can't deal with it. Got 2 Fright Night Yveltal. This is really unnecessary, I'm going to be honest. I think only 1 if you're super worried about, like, megas. But it just... I don't really think it's worth it. 1 Oblivion Wing, I really think... So, this deck is still kind of getting shifted a little bit, but I think what you should do is take out both these, add in like an Oblivion Wing, and maybe like a Tauros. Or something like that, if you have a Tauros. But I don't have a Tauros. Then we got 2 Slowking and 2 Slowpoke. Now, Slowking's Royal Flash. That's what we're getting into. So it's once during your turn before you attack, flip a coin. If heads, you can move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench. This is super strong disruption, but you can also just pile it on like a backup attacker that's on their bench. For example, I don't know, maybe a Mega Gardevoir. And then you kind of Lysander it, and you kill it, right? Because you got a bunch of energies on Yveltal, a bunch of energies on Gardevoir, right? And it's just great because it also stops your opponent from attacking. And even before you get this giant Lysander swing KO, you might be thinking, well, what do? You just kind of Evil Ball, because Yveltal just kind of two-shot things in general. So yeah, it's just a really strong, almost disruptive take on the classic, generally aggressive Yveltal deck, in my opinion. So getting right into the supporters. We have 4 Professor Sycamore. I'm just going to say this now. This is actually the untouched list of what I used at the league, because I'm already noting changes I would make, like the Fright Nights. So, just so you know, this is exactly how this deck ticked. So we got 3 ends. And so Sycamore and End, they're just kind of, we all know what they do and why they're there. Consistency. Now, here's something pretty insane. We run 3 Lysander. Because that one Lysander... Because this deck is one of those decks where Lysander is just a lot better in this deck than it is in really most decks. Because all the energies you're putting on the bench, you really just want to Lysander KO that one thing. And it just makes... So... It's weird because I said this is more of a disruptive, almost control-y take on a really aggressive deck. But playing 3 Lysanders is one of the most aggressive deck decisions you can actually make. So it's just a really odd mixture, but I feel like it really works because it can go slow and really control-y when it needs to, but it can also be really aggressive giant Lysanders when it also needs to. So it's just really a really adaptive deck. That's another reason why I probably put Fright Night in right away, is because it's so adaptive that, like, Fright Night's just a really versatile card in general. So we got 1 Kukui, just in case your math is slightly off. 1 Team Skull Grunt, that's actually Team Flare Grunt. I've mixed those up so much. 1 Team Flare Grunt, just because this is mostly for the Darkrai matchup. Because what you do is your Royal Flash hit heads, they have 1 energy, and then your Team Skull Grunt, they are stuck with the Darkrai with no energies active. That you can pretty easily just 2-shot, and then later Lysander, presumably a Giratina, and kill that. And it's just really bad for them. So Team Playground just kind of is another way you can start a snow. As along with Slowking, it's just a way you can start a snowball effect that just wins you the game. So we got Team Skullgrunt. Now this actually came in clutch at one point. This is just one of the more disruptive takes because generally, oh, you're disrupting my energies. Well, I'll only attach energies to this one Pokemon, and when I put it in the active, it's gonna have so many energies. Your disruption won't do anything. Well, Team Skullgrunt, I can just look at your hand, discard some of those energies you're planning on doing. Oftentimes I can actually tell when someone's holding back energy attachments. It's really weird. Because I've had a couple Team Skullgrunts where I had one Team Skullgrunt that generally just won me the game against a Houndoom deck because he couldn't max potion the next turn or something like that. Anyways, got one Olympia. I'm not entirely sure if you can see it, but it's here, actually. Just going to pick all these up. Yeah, we run one Olympia. It's just because Slowking has a 2 retreat cost and it's just a bench sitter. Sometimes you can't quite get your floatstone on it. It's just really good. But another thing Olympia does is it's one of those cards that's like, it messes up the numbers a tiny bit, but just enough to matter. So Olympia's healing factor is another reason we play it. Hexmaniac. This is just mostly against like Decidueye Vileplume. You'd use this. Even though the deck actually has a great Decidueye Vileplume matchup because it's really all about attacker efficiency. Yveltal is a super easy, super efficient attacker that's really easy to power up. While Decidueye, you need some, like, a DCE and a grass, and then you gotta have a stage 2. And you're trying to get this in an item lock, because you're putting yourself in. It's just really hard. So Yveltal can actually oftentimes just duel a Decidueye, because it's really just a 2-shot war. And then Slowking just puts you in ahead of that war because eventually they only run like 7 or 8 energies. Eventually you're going to have this one time where they're not going to be able to find the energy to keep Feather Arrowing, and they're going to miss a Feather Arrow and you're going to win the duel. And it's just going to effectively put you ahead in the prize trade. So, I have no clue how Hexmaniac ties into that, but I just explained your entire Decidueye matchup for you. But Hexmaniac's just really good because against Decidueye, you can just, Hexmaniac, and then they can't Feather Arrow. Then you can play a bunch of items as well. It's just a really strong effect. So we got 4 VS Seekers. Just get all the supporters back, because those supporters are all super strong, especially when comboed with Versus Seeker. So, that's great. Got 4 Ultra Ball. This just helps you search it out, makes your deck super consistent, super good, right? Just in general. This deck actually has a lot of digging potential when it really needs to, but oftentimes you don't need to, so you can just play conservative, because that's what this deck has. It's really weird. It oftentimes just has a very conservative play style. I don't know, or it's just the way I play the game, or the deck. So we got 3 Max Elixirs. Max Elixir, you generally run 4. I would almost consider running 2, but it's just such a strong card that you really just can't. Especially in a Yveltal deck. So you need to run 3, because it just helps your numbers all that much more. I'm just saying, the entire point of this deck is to always have this Lysander. And just get this giant Lysander swing KO and have it initiate a snowball effect that wins you the game. I'm saying the snowball effect a lot, because what it is just like an effect that's like, it does something small, or even big, like Lysander knockout, a giant, like a big Giratina and darker Giratina. That's a lot of their board, that's 2 prizes, it's just too much a lot of the times. And then they can't really recover, and then you just start killing more things, and they have more and more on their plate, and they just can't deal with it in time, they lose. So this deck plays a lot of its matchups. It just creates a snowball effect and wins. So, Trainer's Mail. Play 3 of these. Because we played 3 Lysanders, I was really adamant with myself about saying I need to cut something to add this 3rd Trainer's Mail in. Because you just need that digging potential, and you just need that extra consistency because you're running 3 Lysanders. So Lysander is going to be a supporter you might have in your hand when you need like an N or something. Like, chances are you have the same chance of pulling a Lysander in your opening hand as an N now. So, it's kind of a scary thought. So that's why you need more Transmail that just helps you dig. And you just run a ton of tech supporters in general. And that's one of the weaknesses of Yveltal Garbers. They ran too many tech supporters and, like, what, 2 Transmail, sometimes no Transmail? So yeah, 3 Fighting Fury Belt just makes your Yveltal super strong, super tanky. It's just so good. Fighting Fury Belt is an amazing card for Yveltal because it makes it tanky and deals more damage. It's just broken. And it's actually not rotating, so. So now we have 3 Float Stones. Float Stone is just another really great card because you just put it on a Slowking, put it on a Living Wing Yveltal. Generally the 2 places I put them on, but I put them other places. So we got 1 Parallel City. Now, actually, I think this is what I caught for the 3rd Transmail is the 2nd Parallel City because I really looked at it and I'm like, okay, there's no stadium that necessarily hurts this deck. It's not like Aquabox where Parallel City hurts it. No matter how you slice it, Parallel City hurts Aquabox. That's why it's like you need to run your stadiums. But sometimes that's not why. It's really hard because it's like no stadiums really counter this deck and really give it a hard time. I mean, I think the worst is just like Parallel City, which is just kind of annoying. But generally that doesn't really affect you. So you only really need 1 Parallel City because just really helps your Rayquaza matchup and just comes in handy a lot in general. In fact, I would consider taking it out, but you just can't. Running no stadiums is a terrible idea. So, and here we have 4 double colorless energies, which is pretty normal, especially for this deck. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 darkness energies. Only 8 instead of 9. As you can see, I've cut down a little bit on the energies for probably just stuff like tech supporters and trainers mails. Just making sure everything's in frame. I mean, barely. So, just gonna move this over here. I don't know. Just another darkness energy, I guess it goes here. So, I really like this deck. I think you should try it out. It's not, I don't believe this is the perfect list. It's actually pretty far from it, as you can clearly tell. I'm still trying to figure out how to balance the disruption, the aggressiveness, just everything. It's a little tough. It's a pretty big balancing act, but I believe I can do this with enough testing, enough and enough determination. I think I can make this a really great deck. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video today. Thanks for watching. Go start binge watching my channel. No, I'm kidding. Do what you want. I'm not gonna tell you what to watch and what to not watch because that's really mean and makes me look like a bad person. So, anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I will make another video next week. Make sure to tune in then. Generally just on the weekend. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!